My goal is to play in a PGA Championship. Now you're probably thinking, Darren, this seems like a pretty lofty goal, but believe it or not, I actually have a route that I can get there. See, I'm actually a PGA certified professional, which means I can qualify for the PGA Professional Championship, which top 20 in that tournament gets into the PGA Championship. So technically, there is a route. To get into the PGA Professional Championship, there's two routes, and one of them just happened. So the first route is to qualify through your section championship. I just played in the Southwest PGA Section Championship, and unfortunately didn't quite have it and ended up as second alternate. So there still is a chance, but I need a lot of people to not want to play or not be able to play, so it's a little bit up to chance and fate. The second option is to play in the PGA Winter Series, which is only PGA certified professionals. You play against all of them. If you're high enough in the points list, you can get a spot into the PGA Professional Championship. And being that option one is a little bit up to fate, I'm gonna play in a lot of those events just so I can try and secure a spot. Now this whole series is simply just gonna cover how I can go from being a pretty good professional golfer to a really good professional golfer to get me to the point where I can qualify for the PGA Championship and play in a major. What I'm gonna be documenting in this series is everything I'm doing, whether it's in practice or on the golf course, to help me become a better professional. In this video alone, I'm gonna talk about how the tournament went that I just played in, the section championship, talk about what I need to improve on and how I'm gonna do that in practice. So first off, we gotta get to the course to have somewhere to practice. So let's get going. So in the tournament, there was three areas that I think I lost a couple strokes on and what I need to improve on. And the first one, as you can imagine, is putting. I made a lot of 10 to 15 foot putts that I needed, but I missed a couple too many of the short ones that I wanted. Honestly, if we go back on the stats and if I can get something to help me do the stats, I'll have the stats down here, but I think I putted pretty close to tour average, but there's just always room for improvement. So we're gonna work on fundamentals first, and then we're gonna move into doing some drills because there was just some putts that I put a lot of pressure on myself that I missed. If I can handle the pressure a little better, I'll probably make them. So what I'm doing with this whole setup here is it's essentially a mirror with a start line drill. So I'm trying to make sure that my eyes are over the ball or in the line that is in line with the ball. My shoulders are square to the target and I'm starting the ball on line. These are my kind of keys to being consistent. If I can do this a lot, very consistently, then when I get over the ball in a regular round, whatnot, it's a lot easier for me to feel confident and be pretty consistent. So now that I'm finished up with this drill, I've probably hit about 30 to 40 putts with this. Now I'm gonna set up a circle drill because it's not the most exciting drill, but it provides some pressure because I have a goal in mind. And it is kind of those putts that you stress over. I do it at a putter length, which my putter is 40 inches. So those are the ones you kind of worry about. They're not gimmies, but they're not like guaranteed. So these are the ones you gotta work on. So my goal with this drill is always to beat PGA Tour percentages, this being, call it 3 feet. PGA Tour makes, I think it's 99 or 95% of these. I think it's 99, so we have to make 100 of them, 100%. So we're gonna go 3 each tee. There's 5 tees, so I gotta make 15 in a row before I can leave, or move on to the next drill.
Nope.
This is where the whole pressure thing comes in because I've made 12 putts in a row already. So I gotta make all 3 of these or I have to start all over again. We did it. So now the third drill we're gonna do is actually a simulated round. So now for the simulated round, I need a bunch of holes, so I'm probably not gonna film every one of them, but I'll keep you updated on what it is. You basically play 18 holes and the putts range from a foot to 52 feet. I'll have it all on the screen here. Essentially, you're just trying to reenact what might happen on the course. So some of the putts are gonna be, say you miss the green chipped it up to nothing. That's where you have a 1-footer. And then some of them are, say you had a long shot into a par 4 or par 5, hit the green, but you have a 52-footer. So you're gonna go through 18 holes. My goal is to get 30 or less putts. So we're gonna see what we can do. So I just finished up the simulated round. I had 8 1-putts and all the rest 2 putts, so that ends up with 28 putts. I'm gonna keep track of this and do this every week. 28 is gonna be a tough one to beat. I think 27, 26 is like almost perfect. I only missed 1 putt that was inside of 13 feet, which is really good. So the putter's working. I just missed a couple that I didn't want to miss in the tournament, so that's why we work so hard at this. So now let's move on to the second aspect that I can definitely work on and help me improve some shots. Second aspect where I can definitely improve on, especially based on the tournament that I just had, is short game around the greens. Now the basic ones aren't really the problem for me. I can get those up and down, no problem. The problem is when I get the ones that have to creep over a little ridge and it's a little longer, I just have a terrible lie. Those kind of things. The ones that you don't look at and go, this is a 10 out of 10, I'm getting up and down. It's kind of like the more iffy ones. And obviously I know I'm not going to get these up and down every time, but being that I'm trying to go from being a pretty good golfer to like a really, really good golfer, I'm looking to save kind of like half shots every so often. So getting these up and down, say I normally do it 5 out of 10 times, I do it 6 out of 10 times. Those are kind of the shots that, the little shots that I can make up, help me improve a little bit. So we're gonna bounce around. I don't really have a good pressure drill for this. I need to figure that out, but I take 5 balls, chip a bunch of different spots, start with the basic ones to really just work on fundamentals and get some feel down, and then I move into bad lies, a little more difficult stuff. So let's get started. Now to start to, I'm trying to keep it really basic and really work on the fundamentals to make a nice, you know, simple, consistent motion. So then it helps me build confidence, so when I get on those really terrible lies sitting in a divot or something like that, I can not be so worried about it. Now I said the basic ones weren't the problem, and I've hit 2 very basic shots, but the reason I do this is because I think of feel as a muscle, essentially. If you don't work out that muscle, then it shrinks or you get worse at what you're doing. So if I don't continue to do this just at least a little bit, then I'm gonna lose some of the feel. So I always start with a lot of basic stuff, focus on technique, focus on where I'm landing the shot, and also some good lies, some bad lies. So then when I get on the course, I have one of these basic shots, I'm like, I'm for sure getting this one up and down. So we've hit a bunch of basic ones. Now we're gonna get to the weird ones, bad lies, awkward shots, that kind of stuff, because those are the ones that I really need to work on. This is kind of the dispersion that I was seeing in the tournament. I'd have a weird lie, and yes, I'd hit some of them fairly close. This is 3 feet, that's about 5 feet. But a lot of them would go to this 8 to 10 foot range that's, you know, 8 feet, you make 50% of them as a tour average, but you don't make all of them. So if I can get one more of these from 8, 10 feet to 3 to 5 feet, that's the area where I'm gonna save some shots. And to be honest, that's more of a realistic goal. If I can get up and down one more time out of 5, that would be amazing. That would be something that's realistic. Trying to say that I'm gonna get this up and down 5 out of 5 times, it's a little unrealistic. I'm just gonna honestly just make myself mad. So that's the goal. We're just trying to save half a stroke to a stroke per round. this is how I'm gonna do it. The last aspect that I definitely could work on to help me save some shots is tee shots, but essentially the driver, because I get in my own head. Now, on a course like this, I'm at Dobson right now, holes like this don't really bother me because there's OB left, but there's plenty of room before I get to the OB, and then there's another hole right. So these are the ones that I can comfortably swing at, and I, tend to make a good swing, hit a good shot. But when I get to courses like we were at, where it's essentially property line, golf course, property line, so two-way, both sides is a big penalty, those are the ones that I just get these steery golf swings. And honestly, when I try to steer it out there, I get way worse. I hit it all over the planet. But when I get up and swing, honestly, like out of my shoes, it gets much better. Like, I'll show you here. I brought 3 balls up here just so I can, give you a little range of what I do. But my practice swing for the last 2 rounds of the tournament, once I kind of got over the fact that steering it makes no sense, was like, make it fast, make it hard, make it hear the whoosh, essentially. Because if I can make a harder golf swing, which tends to be a freer golf swing, I can hit, much better golf shots rather than try to steer it out there. Like that one I pulled 4 yards, 5 yards. It's gonna be in the left rough, but I mean, if that's my bad drive, no issue there. But, when I get over the golf hole and I'm like, oh, I wanna, hit it straight, steer it down there, blah, 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 I just hit way worse shots. So it's really just getting myself to commit on these tougher tee shots to just swing at it. Again, missed it, right side of the fairway. Now, how do I work on this? I don't think it's something that I can do at the range, because get on the range, I'm just gonna honestly probably stripe every one of them. So what I need to do is get on golf courses where the two-way miss, or there's trouble on both sides essentially, and then have some sort of pressure. Be in a match, have something on the line, blah, blah, blah. Something to make me a little worried, where I want to have to steer it out there, but I need to fight through it to just hit a good shot and swing hard at it. So that's something I need to work on, that I'm going to keep working on. But, all that together though, we know what I need to work on. I know what I need to work on. Now I just need to put it together and actually do it. So this is week 1 of trying to get to the PGA Championship. I'm gonna keep doing these every week. Just keep you updated on everything. Just film little clips every day. I do practice every day, so there will be a lot. But thank you for watching the first week, and I'll see you next week. Bye.